Chapter 16, Attitude. A great attitude is worth more than a great product. People will pay more for an agreeable, positive, and enjoyable experience than they will ever pay for a great product. Who doesn't want to feel good? Who doesn't want to be acknowledged for being right? Who doesn't want to be smiled at and agreed with? You show me a person that doesn't want to feel good, and I'll show you someone that you don't want to bother selling. Man wants to feel good. Man is moved by positive and confident people more than he is moved by great products. There will always be a market for products that make him feel good, but a person who can make someone feel good can sell almost any product. The individual that combines a great attitude with a great product becomes unstoppable. A positive attitude is 1,000 times more important to me than the product I'm selling. Just observe how people on this planet spend money. A person will spend a small amount of his income on the necessities of life and blow his entire paycheck on entertainment. Why? Because he wants to feel good. Why does Jay Leno make more money than all the school teachers in Los Angeles combined? Because he makes people laugh. He makes them feel good. It's easy for a buyer to say no to a product, even a company, but it's extremely difficult to say no to a positive experience with another human being. It's not natural. When something makes you feel good, you want more of that thing. Whether it makes sense or not, you want more of the feel good. That is why people do things that aren't good for them, because for a moment or two, it made them feel good. See, people will spend money on things that make them feel good before they'll spend money on things they need. This explains poverty. It explains debt levels that we see today. One time I saw this beautiful jacket on display in a shop window. I was so intrigued by it. It grabbed my attention. I went inside to take a closer look. I asked the clerk, "Hey, what's the price of that jacket?" Which she told me as she helped me slip on the jacket. Admiring my reflection in the mirror, I protested as she told me that the price was actually insane and that I didn't even need this jacket. With a warm understanding and beautiful smile, she said, "No one buys a jacket like this because they need it. They buy it because it's beautiful and it makes them feel good." Melting in the truth of her statement, I asked, "Do you take American Express?" See, with all the chaos and bad news that the media so freely disseminates on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, it's refreshing to meet a solution-oriented, positive person, almost like an oasis for the guy walking through a desert. Oh, refreshing, positive, because you're just bombarded with negativity all day. You know the kind of person I'm talking about? The kind of person who's always smiling as they say, "Yes, sir, I'll get it done. I'd be happy to do that. I want to take care of that kind of positive, that I'll take care of anything." See, I just want to be sold. Or do I? No, the truth is I don't want to just be sold. I want to feel good. I want people around me who are positive, helpful, smiley, and motivated. That's what everybody wants. All people want positive. I have a personal assistant named Jen. When I hired Jen, she had no experience in my type of businesses and had never worked in that kind of environment. I didn't hire Jen because of her abilities or experience or her resume, but because of her positive attitude. Jen is one of the most upbeat, can-do, get-it-done, with a smile on your face kind of people I've ever known. It doesn't mean that Jen doesn't make mistakes. She does. But because of her attitude, the mistakes she makes become acceptable to me. See, I never get mad at her. I find it almost impossible to get mad at her, no matter what she does, because she's so service-oriented, so positive. So, "Yes, sir, I'd be happy to, no problem." Hey, is Jen selling? Absolutely. Every day, whether she knows it or not. It's an attitude. Attitude gets you latitude. See, if you make mistakes and you're negative, I'm going to crush you. If you make a mistake and you're positive, and I feel good around you, lots of latitude. Attitude is latitude, right? See, never let anyone convince you that people won't pay more for a great attitude and for great service, because they will. The ability to be positive at all times, whether you're winning or losing, is that one thing that will ensure that you're a winner in the end. Attitude. It's senior to everything. I almost regret I left it for one of the last chapters in the book, because it is so vitally critical. You know, I love positive people, and I bet you do too. And I find them irresistible. When you're positive, people will find you irresistible. The people that don't like you because you're positive, you don't want to be around them anyway, folks. Okay? It's oil and water, positive and negative. Stay away from them. Now, treat them like millionaires. You know, my wife and I go to a place called the Grove in Los Angeles for dinner and a movie. We valet parked the car there. And this bleached blonde, spiky-haired, guy that's Mr. Positive, big smile on his face, always greets, opens the door, enthusiastically says, "Good to see you again, boss. Leave it with me, and I'll see you in a couple hours. The car will be right up front." Every time I come back, I hit him with 20. Every time. You know what it costs to valet park a car there? I think it's $8. Bam! 20 bones. The other valet guy that works there, who greets us like we're a nuisance, he doesn't smile. He appears to hate his job. He parks the car in the same spot that Spiky Hair does. But due to his poor attitude, I give him the $8 or the $5 or whatever it costs, because all he did was park my car for me. I'm sure he goes home and he tells his girlfriend how cheap all the people are. That these guys come in with big cars and we valet. But you know what? Spiky Hair's got a completely different story. In fact, Mr. Negative said that Spiky Hair is the lucky guy and he's just unlucky. Look, it ain't luck. It's not the luck of the spiky-haired guy, I assure you. And it's definitely not that I'm a poor tipper. It's the attitude that made the difference. I'm not paying for you to park my car. I'm paying for your attitude. The reality is people with good attitudes are luckier than people with bad attitudes. There is no treasure greater than a great attitude, and no way to get a real treasure without having a great attitude. Listen to that. There's no treasure greater than a great attitude, and no way to get real treasures without having a great attitude. A customer once wanted to buy a truck from me, and he, like many car buyers, didn't want the dealership to make any money from the deal. He thought it was fair that he only pay invoice for the truck. None of this makes any sense, of course, because if the company keeps selling their products for invoice, they won't have any money to stay in business to even service this customer. But that's what this guy wanted. Well, because I know that attitude is senior and more important than the product or the price, and because I trust that the customer will pay for my can-do positive attitude, I told him, hey, no problem. Whatever you want, it's yours, my friend. I just appreciate having the opportunity to do business with you, regardless of what we make on the truck. He was shocked at my response and the smile I had on my face, because I hadn't let him his attitude get beneath my skin. I spent the next hour or so showing him the truck, getting to know him, laughing with him, and being positive, a positive influence on him. I treated this guy as if he were about to give me $1 million, even though he said, I don't want to pay you any profit. I put aside the fact that he didn't want to pay any more than invoice and pushed everything in the direction of a great attitude. At the close, I showed him the documented third-party certified invoice price on the truck. I showed him that state taxes were $4,000 and added an additional $2,000 for me to take care of him for the next 4 years. He looked at me and said, I know I can buy this down the street without paying the extra $2,000. With a smile, I responded, you're probably right, but you won't get me down the street. He laughed and said, I don't know why I'm doing this, but let's do it. And he wrote the check. Remember that a product can be shopped, but a great attitude, an incredible can-do positive attitude cannot be shopped. A price can be beat, but a great attitude is priceless. A price can be beat, but a great attitude is priceless. There's nothing more valuable to anyone than a positive person. People will always act according to your attitude. They're not acting according to their attitude. They're acting according to yours. If it's negative, if you're getting negative responses, right, it's because you're negative. If it's negative, expect negative. When it's positive, long enough, genuinely enough, you can expect them to become positive. If I scream and threaten another person, you can expect them to flee or fight. See, neither response is survival for you as a salesperson. But look, if I'm positive and agreeable, and I can expect the buyer's response to be positive and agreeable, Would you agree? It is contagious. I'm contagious. When you have the ability to change another person's attitude in a positive manner and make them feel better than they did before they met you, and look, you no longer need to rely on your product being superior. It's your attitude that's superior. How you act toward others will be how they will act toward you. Even down to how you think about others. Your attitude precedes everything that happens to you in your life. If you think about car wrecks, you will have car wrecks. If you hang around negative people, you will become negative. If you hang around people with problems, you will attract people with problems. Actually, you've already attracted the people with problems. Now you're going to attract problems. A product of your environment. You know, my mom told me as a kid, you are the people you hang around, Grant. While I resisted her wisdom at that time, I now know it's true. Today, however, I would take that statement from my mother even further and say you are a product of all that you surround yourself with. That includes the TV you watch, the newspapers you read, the friends you have, the movies you watch, your hobbies, your interests, your family, and everything that you're involved with. Every winter season, the news people spend hours each day convincing you and your family that the flu season is coming and that you are susceptible and that millions of people will get the flu. They used to call this thing an epidemic, and now they call it pandemic because I guess they wanted to scare people even more. Do I think that people actually get the flu because it's promoted with such dedication? Hey, I got to tell you, absolutely believe that people get the flu because the media says you're going to get the flu. Why? Because the mind is in control. Your mind is a very powerful thing. The media gets everyone thinking about the flu, worrying about the flu, talking about the flu, and people will start to think they're getting the flu until they finally just go get it. Actually, they go get it injected into their arm, drop their immune system, and start to get other problems over a period of their life. See, when the media starts promoting recession and tough times, people everywhere contract and tighten up. And this perpetuates that exact thing that they promoted. Entire economies can be frozen by what is promoted on television and newspapers. So what do you think it does to your mind? Entire economies can be wrecked because of television and newspapers. So what can it do to one individual? Entire nations of people's attitudes are shifted from positive to negative in order to influence the actions of many so only a few can benefit. You think that's drastic? Trust me. You're being manipulated every day. The newspapers and televisions have been used for years to influence the attitudes and actions of the many. If millions of people's actions can be altered by news, TV, radio, newspaper, certainly your attitude can influence one other person for the good or the bad. Even the medical profession agrees that most mental and physical diseases are actually psychosomatic of the mind. Most people today agree that they're mental. This has been proven with the placebo pill, that in many cases results in much healing. But look, it was just sugar. There's no real medicine in it. It's a placebo. There's nothing but sugar in it. Take the placebo, take the pill, and people actually believe they get better, and then they do. I believe that the single most valuable asset I have in my life and the most valuable asset I have in my family's life is my ability to stay positive when everyone else is losing their minds. That doesn't mean I stay positive all the time. Look, I get negative too, but I believe my ability to stay above the masses, above this wall of negativity, when everyone's freaking out around me and worrying and crying and tripping out, I want to be positive. By staying positive, you become the obvious leader, and people will follow your lead. If that position in life is desirable to you, then you need to do everything possible to protect your attitude from things that bring you down. You also need how to take preventive steps and guard yourself against those people who may have the agenda of affecting you negatively. Look, it's not enough to just be positive. You have to actually protect yourself against those who are being negative. Watch out for friends, family, work associates, and others around you who actually, whether they know it or not, may have the agenda of negatively impacting those around you. Look, attitudes, like diseases, are contagious. And they're contagious both ways, good and bad. Your enemies are not your problem when it comes to attitude. It's the people closest to you. The enemy's long, long away. It's the people around you that could be affecting you most negatively. See, would you let your best friend leave his garbage in your house? Would you? Of course not. But that's exactly what he's been doing when he comes around and starts telling you about bad news, gossip, can't do, that can't happen, his troubles, this is impossible, they're asking me to do impossible things. Look, he's dropping garbage in your house. You're allowing his mental trash to be left in your environment and you become infected. So I'm going to give you some tips to having a great attitude. This is something I work on every day. I continue to work on it. Okay, here's some tips. If you aren't getting paid the way you want to be paid and you know what you're doing, I assure you, that means you technically know how to do your job and you're not getting paid. I assure you that your attitude is part of your problem. You can be smiley, you can be happy, but your attitude ultimately is part of your problem. If you want a bigger paycheck, you got to get a bigger attitude. The question is, how do you change an attitude? How do you stay positive? What can you do to ensure that you're smiling, happy, and loving life and people get it? And it's authentic and genuine. It's not a fake smile. It's real. Well, here are some helpful suggestions that I've used in my own life when I want to make sure that I had a beaming, positive attitude and that it was natural for me. Number one, avoid newspapers, television, and radio. It'll kill you. Number two, stay away from can't-do people. People that have troubles in life and people that don't do well. Look, man, leave them alone. You can try to help people, but don't hang around them and be affected by them negatively. This includes family and friends. It includes people you like, but look, they're having problems. Maybe they need to go to quarantine. Number three, get everyone in your life on the same page with where you're going and what you want in your life and what is expected of them in order for you to get there. That means your kids, your spouse, everybody needs to be on the same page. Mom, dad, you're starting a new business and your mom and dad I'm worried about that. I don't need to hear that from you. Get them on the same page. 4, avoid drugs, avoid alcohol because of the negative influence they have on you. They make you lethargic. They make you slow. They make you not sure. They put you in mystery. They're against the law. Stay away from prescription drugs. They affect the mind as badly as a street drug does. That is proven today. Some of those drugs are as dangerous as LSD, heroin, cocaine. You're not fixing the problem. Some are proving more dangerous than even those drugs that are illegal. Just look at the side effects in the warning labels. Itchy this, burning eyes, swelling that, swelling this, shrinking that. I mean, come on. Control your attitude by being aware and alert, not by being drugged and numbed. Number 5, avoid hospitals and doctors if at all possible. Hey, go see them when you absolutely have to. Like you break your arm, you go to a doctor, he fixes it, but don't spend a week there. I've seen too many people get worse when they spend time with doctors and hospitals. Hospitals appear to be sick factories. I don't even like to go visit other people there because the amount of negativity in the environment, oh, he's sick, this guy's terminal, this is a problem, that's a problem. Look, you want to get in positive environments. Just watch people as they leave a hospital and you'll know exactly what I mean. 6, treat negative talk like garbage. Put up a sign in your office and it'll read, no negative talk zone. Not allowed here. Don't allow people to talk negatively around you or about others. No criticism and no gossip. You don't need it. Treat it like garbage and don't allow anyone to leave their garbage in your environment. Number 7, start the negativity diet today. Commit to no negative thoughts, ideas, or talk for the next 24 hours. This will be a start to you really getting control of your thoughts and actions and will help you build discipline to control how you think and act. Now, there's a better way, but I'm going to tell you about the better way. Thoughts come before actions, and your actions then determine your life. So once you get control of how you think, you're going to become aware. Wow, man, I'm negative a lot. Okay, good. No big deal. Just write it down. This is what I said, this negative, knock it off and start your 24 hours again. Once you get control of how you think, you will then get control of your actions. The negativity diet works like this. No negative talks, no negative thoughts, no talking negative, no negative actions for full 24 hours, or you restart the clock. While this may seem like a very simple challenge, I have never met anyone that made it the first 24 hours, and I know thousands of people that have failed the challenge only 10 minutes after starting. Okay? So, no negative talk, no negative comments to other people. You start again. It's just a game. Don't take it too serious. Just start trying to slowly put in some discipline. Now, if you want to know the ultimate way, the ultimate end-all way to get rid of negativity, it is not to discipline yourself out of it or try to train yourself not to have it. And it's not to stand in a mirror and say, I am positive, I love myself, the whole law of attraction thing, everything good comes to me if I think good things. The way to be positive ultimately is to get rid of negativity. And I'm going to tell you about a book that I've read. I've read it 6 times. It's called Dianetics. It was written by L. Ron Hubbard. The book is phenomenal at getting rid of negativity permanently and forever. And I'm not talking about that everyday kind of negativity, but I'm talking about the stuff that actually is the engine of negativity and drives people into not being able to control and keep a positive attitude. So get the book Dianetics and read it. My office has it, so if you want to call there and get it, they can get it for you. This is going to give you a game to play whereby you're competing with yourself to start controlling how you think and act and live in life. People have become unaware of just how negative they are and then wonder, hey, why is life so negative? Control your thoughts unless you want to just get rid of them, and you can, and you'll control your actions. This simple game, the diet, will first make you aware. Once you're aware, you start making some gentle changes. Okay, be honest with yourself, play the game. When you fail, start it over. If you want to get rid of it, just get the book Dianetics and it'll explain to you how the mind works. So if you want to permanently get rid of the negativity, call the office and we'll introduce you to a surefire way to rid yourself of all these computations forever. Negative responses, reactive responses, and you'll be positive, forward-looking, solution-oriented that you're supposed to be. Look, the reality is, if you didn't have any negativity going on in the first place, you wouldn't need the negativity diet. You'd be positive. Nothing in your life will pay you more rewards than your ability to have and maintain a great attitude. Nothing will prove more valuable in your life than a positive outlook on life, regardless of your career. People will remember you in life, not for how much money you made or how much success you achieved, but for how you handled life and how you made others feel. Your attitude and your ability to have a positive influence on the attitudes of others will not only affect your sales, but every area of your life, your marriage, your kids, your health, your wealth, your luck, everything. You name it, and a great attitude will affect it. Chapter 17, the biggest sale of my life. The first moment I saw this woman, Elena, I knew I'd found the girl I was going to marry. I was absolutely and completely sold from the first moment I saw this woman. It also became almost immediately apparent that, like many customers I had had in the past, she wasn't going to make this sale very easy for me. I was taken back by her beauty, even to the point of feeling insecure at my own qualifications to have this woman, even my ability to get her attention. But I pushed through my fears and introduced myself to her as my heart skipped and my pulse raced. You guys know what I'm talking about. She responded to me with complete disinterest, as though she couldn't even see me, like as though I was a ghost, she looked through me and never saw me. You would have thought that I was Casper the ghost, unable to be seen. I was devastated and certain by her response that this sale would be almost impossible. The whole encounter lasted maybe a minute when she continued on with what she was doing and left me to be by myself. I went to one of the people on the set, a friend working my power base, and found out everything I could find out about this woman called Elena. I got her phone number even from this individual, even though he resisted. He's like, no, I can't do that. He was reluctant to do so, but could see I would never go away, never leave him without that number. Hard sell, right? Stay with it and get it. I called her the following day, right away, massive action. With enthusiasm and my great attitude, convincing myself that I could get her interested in me, attitude is senior to product, I could get her interested regardless of her interest in me. It only takes one. Again, it didn't go the way I wanted. I was hoping, oh man, she's going to turn, right? But she seemed completely uninterested in my product, me, and was a bit annoyed that I even called her. I knew I was missing the mark, but was totally convinced that she was the one because I was completely sold on the product. I was unable to really get my communication in with her because I didn't know what she liked. I didn't know what she had interest in. I was getting nowhere so fast, but I just refused to give up. I'm like the jagged edge. I don't know how to do this. So what? Take action. Looking for some positive support and reassurance, I called my mom and announced that I had met the girl I was going to marry. My mom was excited and asked me when we were going to go out or if we'd been out. And I told her, no, there's just one little problem. This girl Elena that I'm going to marry has no interest in me. My mom, wanting to protect her son from being hurt, offered her advice in this situation, stating, Grant, it takes two for a relationship. If she doesn't have interest in you, then you can't impose yourself on her. Protect yourself from negative information. Remember that? Be careful where you get advice. I'm talking to you right now. My mom's done with her advice. Be careful where you get your advice from because when you're going after your dreams and goals, even the people that love you the most can sometimes offer information that could possibly cause you to get off your path of your dreams. So my mom says, Grant, she's not interested. You can't impose yourself. The moment my mother said it takes two, it hit me what I had to do. If this sale is meant to be, I said to myself, it's up to me. It's not up to Elena. I've heard salespeople blame customers for years for sales they couldn't make. They blame everybody but themselves. I immediately became even more determined to make this relationship happen. So while my mother gave me poor advice, she gave me the fuel to move on because I know it only takes one in a sale to get a sale done. See, if someone is to be sold, it's up to me. It's not Elena. If I wait for her to make it happen, look, it ain't going to happen. She can't even see me, doesn't remember my name, and won't take my calls. So I had to get creative. See, buyers don't buy. They're not responsible for buying. I'm responsible to make the sale. And it doesn't take two, it takes one. I decided at that moment that I'd be the one to take complete responsibility for selling myself to her and wrapping up this deal. So what do I do first? I got to get sold on the product. That's me. So I sat down and wrote all the things I had to offer and all the great quality points that I bring to a relationship. I then came up with an action plan. I started calling anyone that might know her and put it out there that I was interested and I wanted to know or get to know her. See, anybody that could help me, that's my power base, and I'm taking massive action. Then I decided to call her every month until I was able to finally break through to her and really get in communication without her giving me the chance to get to know her and her to get to know me. There was no sale. So I had to push through. I called her every month for an entire year, almost 13 months, leaving nice little positive messages. Attitude. Not only did she not take any of my calls, but she never even returned them. Not a single one. 13 months. But that didn't stop me, as no real salesperson will ever be stopped because of a little rejection. Not if you're sold on what you want. I just stayed interested and kept letting my interest be known. I was unreasonable and disregarded logic. As the phone calls were not getting traction, I continued when necessary to remind myself of the product. Me, I'm good, my mission's good, and it's worth working for. And then I went back to work in my power base. I discovered through persistence that a friend of mine had a friend that was actually a girlfriend of Elena's. I then started to get to know this girlfriend. I'm working a power base. I'm expanding out from my place of power. I told her, look, I'm interested in this girl. I need some updates, and I need to know what it's going to take. And I'm getting updates and a lack of success, and I'm telling her, and I said, look, put a good word in for me. I'm working the referral base. I'm like, help me out here. Find out what the deal is with this woman and why she wasn't responding. The girl actually told me that Elena had mentioned my name before, saying there's this guy that kept calling her and leaving funny messages. She didn't say I was stalking her. She said, look, the guy keeps calling and leaving funny messages, but I don't have any interest in him. He's not my type. The girlfriend said she told Elena I was really a good guy and that she should go out with me. As the girlfriend told me, I got excited thinking, "Gee, I'm going to pull this off." At which point the girlfriend tried to let me down gently saying, "Look, you're not her type." And I'm like, what does that mean? Is that a complaint or an objection? I wondered. What is the objection? I had to pull it out of my girlfriend. I had to get her in communication because I had to know what is it I need to handle here? An objection or complaint? What's the problem? I can't solve it if I don't know what it is. Well, I got Elena's girlfriend to tell me because I had to know. See, I was totally committed. She finally told me that Elena had said that I was too short, that she didn't like business type guys, and that I just wasn't her type. But those aren't real reasons not to go out with me, I thought. They're just complaints. They're not objections, they're complaints. I was renewed, man. I was like, okay, because I'm sold. I thought, know the difference between a complaint and objection, Grant. These are complaints. While all common sense was telling me to give up on this woman after almost 13 months, I was walking down the street one day and saw this ugly guy with this absolutely drop-dead gorgeous woman. And I thought, how did he do that? I didn't know the answer, but I knew it wasn't because he quit. So I decided I wouldn't quit. This was inspiration for me until I at least get an appointment with the girl that I want. I got to sell the product, me, and at least go for the close. So what do? Can't get any traction. She's not interested. We know it's complaints, but she's not paying attention. I don't really know what she likes. Can't make her wrong. That would violate the rule of selling. You got to keep agreeing with her. I can't get her on the phone. How do I even agree with her? So I'm thinking, okay, what's first rule of selling? First rule, Grant, what is it? Okay, always, always, always agree. Okay, so I called her. I left another message. On her recorder, probably the, 13th, 14th. "Hey, Elena, this is Grant. As you probably know, I've been bugging Erica about you. Look, I don't want you to think I'm a stalker or anything. I'm not. I'm just a guy that's really interested in you. And I have no intention of giving up until you give me a chance. By the way, just an update, I'm growing." You see, I kept my calls always upbeat, positive. I never make the individual wrong. One day I was asking a buddy of mine about this girl, Elena. She didn't call me back even after that great classic call. I thought that was Slay the Dragon, baby, but it wasn't. So one day I'm asking a buddy of mine, "Hey, man, do you know this girl, Elena?" Whom he had also been trying to date. He told me, "Oh, she's not interested in a relationship. She's more interested in the guns and her career as an actress." And I'm thinking to myself, guns? Okay, I knew she was an actress. I didn't know about the guns. He's actually given me reasons why she wasn't much of a catch. He's trying to talk me out of pursuing her. Why? Because he can't close the deal. Weak puppy that he is. I then pursued this information regarding the shooting. I'm like, she likes to shoot. And I found out that she was one of the top 10 women clay shooters in the state of California, and that shooting was her passion. I left this guy and I go home and I booked the LA Gun Club, renting the shooting range, hired the best coach in Los Angeles for the following Saturday. I then called Elena up. That's commitment, by the way. I then called Elena up and I left another message because she never took my phone calls, and it hits her recorder telling her I booked, I don't think it was the LA Country Shooting Club. It was, I forget the name of it right now, but I called the gun club in LA. I booked it. I leave this message. I booked the gun club in LA. I have Dan Reeves, the best trainer in Los Angeles. I have all the weapons we need and all the ammo for all morning. This is finding out what people are interested in, not what I'm interested in, what she's interested in. 51 seconds later, promise you, she didn't make it to 60 seconds. She called me back for the first time. We had our first real encounter that Saturday, and we got married a year later. Look, my wife was the toughest sale I've ever made, and I can tell you it was worth every second. I've been in deals as large as $80 million, but I can't even compare those deals to getting this girl to first pay attention, then go out with me, and later be able to propose to her and know for sure she would say yes. My wife will tell you today that I saw us long before she did. and that my conviction and complete knowingness of us as a couple was very, very difficult for her to resist. She will not say that I opposed or pressured or stalked her. She will tell you that I predicted the future and created that future by knowing what I wanted, staying with what I wanted, and continuing to do whatever was necessary to get what I wanted. My wife would not say I sold her in some negative context, but rather that I showed love and interest for her and continued to put it out there regardless of her response to me. Give, give, give. Remember that? I will tell you that the most important sale of my life was this sale. And also that if it were not for my view of selling, not all that I learned about selling as a needed skill in life, and understanding this thing called selling technically, and if I didn't feel good about selling as a way to get my way in life, I would never have been able to get this worthy close. In summary, your ability to persuade others determines by itself how well you will do in all areas of your life. Selling is an absolute necessity for really, really living life and for making your dreams come true. While selling is a career for many, it's a requirement for everyone. You need to sell. You need to know how to sell. You need to know how to get your way in life, how to negotiate and persuade others in life in order that you can make your dreams come true and enhance the survival of your life. How well you do that will, by itself, determine what kind of life you will have and how many people you will ultimately influence. Become a student of this thing called selling. Don't treat it like some distasteful thing that you have to do or that you'll hire others to do for you. Selling is the ultimate fuel of every economy on planet Earth. And without people selling ideas and concepts and products, the world will never improve. If you want to make a difference on this planet, learn how to sell. If you want to make sure your worthy ideas get known to the world, learn how to sell. If you want your way in life, if you want your company to do well, if you want your family to prosper, learn the information in this book. Read it a second time, and I guarantee you, you will prosper in ways others considered impossible. When you're done with this, read it a second time, and then pass it on to your spouse, and then pass it on to your kids. Thank you. And remember to keep selling, as selling is the secret to success. Chapter 18, the perfect sales process. In this chapter, I want to briefly introduce you to what successful, the perfect, the ideal sales process would look like. First, the perfect sales process would have to satisfy all parties involved. Everyone would have to be a winner. And it would also, the perfect sales process would also have to increase the effectiveness of the user. Now, this is a big problem because most people that create sales processes are not satisfying the key people, and they're not doing it in the correct order. For 50 years, for at least the last 50 years, I know for sure there's been almost nothing changed about how people sell things and approach the marketplace. Most of the information is dated with encouragement to control. Who wants to be controlled, dude? Nobody wants to be controlled. You try to control me when you sell something. You will never sell me something by trying to control me. Most of the information about selling from my buddies like Brian Tracy, all the respect in the world, Tom Hopkins, a little less, but still a lot of respect, okay? All the guys, all the way back to Og Mandino, who wrote The Greatest Salesman in the World, Dale Carnegie's, no respect at all, just garbage. There's nothing there, man. And look, I went to one of the Dale Carnegie courses. There's just nothing there, okay? And anything that is there, it's a bit of a manipulation. Find out what Robert's personality is, match his personality, and then Robert will buy from you. Dude, I don't want to be 17 different personalities. I'm not a chameleon. I am a human being with my personality. I don't want to trick people. I don't want to manipulate. This is what I talked about in the 90-day phenomenon. These old schools of selling basically ask you to do stuff like neurolinguistic programming. It's garbage. La la land. It's crazy. It's whack. Okay, they look that way, you look that way, okay? What are you looking at? What are you thinking about? Are you kinesthetic? No, man, don't do that. Okay. This is what's wrong with selling. This is why we have so much turnover in this business, because you're asking people to do something with the goal to manipulate and or control. Most of the information is outdated with encouragement at control and spending long periods of time with the customer. Oh, the longer you spend with them, the better off you are. What am I talking about right now? The perfect sales process. Oh, the longer we spend with them, the more obligated they become. Dude, that's not the world we live in today. People don't have long periods of time. The longer you spend with them, the less likely they are to buy from you and pay anything to you. Why do you think everybody's going to the net today to buy their goodies? Because they don't want to spend long periods of time. It's crazy. The perfect sales process must take care of the customer. The reality is that people have changed greatly over the last 5 years, much less the last 50 years. They probably changed more in the last 5 years than they changed in the previous 45 years before that. And that change will continue to happen. Wives are making more decisions and what is bought. Couples aren't always husband and wife anymore. Could be Bob and Dick, okay? Things are changing. You got a lot of single mothers buying things with 2 kids and no time. You got husband and wife both working today. Wasn't happening 50 years ago. You got margins being compressed so tight. You got people with no time. Cities getting so big that people are in traffic. You got people spending 11 hours on the internet before they get to the environment to look at the piece of real estate. I can Google satellite a property and see it from the inside, the outside, from every freaking view without ever driving on to the property, and the sales process hasn't changed. It's crazy. It's whacked. The perfect sales process must incorporate change. It must satisfy all parties involved. It must increase the effectiveness, or it's not perfect. Look, husbands and wives are most likely employed together, at the same time, 2 kids. People have less time. There's access to information everywhere. Some studies suggest entire generational changes whereby the buyer doesn't want to even engage a human being. I don't even want to talk to humans anymore. We see internet sales spiking and retail sales staying flat or going down. We have people actually shopping retail to make decisions online. It's crazy. A lot of change going on. You must change. The sales process must change. The perfect sales process would then have to be based on that data. It had to be fast and easy. That's why I like the internet. Okay. If you start seeing that little wheel, you got tied up, can't get good access, dude, you get frustrated, you lose interest. Perfect sales process, the human being involved would have to be fast, have to be easy. Have to be easy and effective for the buyer, easy and effective for the salesperson. It must provide credible information as easily as the buyer could access it himself. This is important information I'm giving you right here. This is the perfect sales process. Easy for the customer, easy for the salesperson. Provide credible information as easily as the buyer can access the same data. I'm telling you where you'd have to get your data from to support you, third parties. It must treat the buyer as an informed, able buyer, and knowing he has access to knowledge. And ultimately, it must satisfy the customer and the company by consummating a sale that is profitable. The perfect sales process would not give something away. The perfect sales process would actually satisfy the customer, satisfy the salesperson, satisfy the company, and we would make money. We wouldn't lose money. The first thing I would look into in your sales process is how to shorten it. Based on what we're talking about, time is so critical to a buyer, particularly people that have money. I would first shorten it, figure out how could I shorten it and simplify it just because of the amount of sensitivity people have to time. Look, there's a bigger time shortage on this planet than there is money shortage. There's more time scarcity than there is money scarcity. And money scarcity is pretty big. Whether you're filling up your car, checking out a gym membership, shopping for an outfit, shopping for groceries, looking for a piece of technology, time is on your mind. How long will I be here? How long will it take? Am I going to get stuck with a person that I don't even like? Do I have to actually talk to a person? I don't want to spend any time with these people. Have you ever driven up to a grocery store? Couldn't find a parking place and left? You ever been to a Taco Bell? Line was too long? Fast food ain't fast at Taco Bell. And what'd you do? You're hungry, you're starving, you need to eat. There's 6 or 8 or 9 cars in front of you. You're like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go get something else. Why? Because your attention was on time. The first thing you would have to change for the perfect sales process is time. You got to shorten your process up. The sales process is finding out the following about the buyer. Who are you? What do you want? Why do you want it? What do I have that will fulfill what you want? How do I show it to you in a manner that you can make sense of it? How do I make an offer to you that can be funded by either you or others or a combination? And then how do I, the salesperson or company, close, deliver it, and follow up in the hopes that we can repeat the process? Now, anything you can get rid of out of that in order to speed up and simplify would be a good thing. What did I just tell you? The sales process is finding out the following about a buyer. This is very, very important. Who are you? What do you want? Why do you want it? What do I have to do to fulfill your wants, or what product will fulfill your wants? How do I show it to you in a manner that you can make sense of? How do I make an offer that can be funded? How do I close it, deliver it, and follow up in hopes to repeat this process over and over again? How do I do that in the shortest period of time possible in a manner that's so simple that anybody, including Grant, can learn it? The other thing is that the perfect sales process must be, or should be, or it'd be nice if it could be, advertised to the public. See, most of the way people sell today, they would never advertise. I mean, come on, would you really advertise neuro-linguistic programming? Yeah, come see us, man. We're going to step inside your mind and start playing games, and we're going to find out whether you like to feel things or see things or hear things. And then we're going to do that. And we're going to change for every person. Dude, you would never advertise that to people. Or how about the Dale Carnegie thing, Just become them. Really? We're not authentic here. We are whoever you are. Dude, spooky. Sounds spooky to me, bro. How about this? You're going to come here, tell us what you want. We're going to see if we have a product that fits for you. We're going to give you a price on it. We're going to see if we can get you funded. And you make the decision, yay or nay. Yay or nay. Kanye. Yay. See, the perfect sales process must be advertised, man. If you can't advertise it, there's something wrong with it. If you can't tell the public this is what we're going to do when you get here, what the hell are you doing? If you can't advertise any part of your sales process, what are you thinking? See, if you can't advertise it, there's something not okay with it. There's something inherently wrong with anything you can't transparently present to the public. The transparency of your process is the vital litmus test for how much integrity your sales process has in it. This is the litmus test. This is the thing executives should look at. For instance, the old adage was control, deceive. Oh, I know you hate that word. I know you think, oh no, Grant, you're being a little rough here. No, dude, look, come on, let's be real. The old adage was to deceive the client, to control the client. It was to withhold information until the vital time. This has happened across every business, from cars. It's not just automobiles. Banks do it. I'm not going to tell you the loan. Mortgages do it. Can't tell you that yet. Depends on your credit. The old adage, whether we like it or not, and it's why so many people hate selling, not consumers. It's why sellers hate selling. It's why sellers aren't productive. Because nobody wants to control, nobody wants to deceive, nobody wants to withhold information except the criminal. I don't want a criminal. I want people that feel good about what they're doing, motivated, excited, that want to go tell more people about our product, more people about our price, more people about what we do. See, that's how you grow your business. The old adage was control, deceive, and withhold, all of which would fail this test. Can you advertise your sales process? If you're a salesperson and you're listening just to this section, make sure your management team gets it. Make sure executives, make sure the CEO gets this. This is vital data. This is where we can make our first big shift in your company to make them more effective by coming up with a sales process that fits everybody and that has integrity. Much of what I have been taught over the past 25 or 30 years in sales, I would never, ever tell the customer, hey, by the way, this is what I'm getting ready to do to you, okay? I'm asking you how much money you have down so I can figure out what product is best to sell you so we can make the most money. That's what we're doing now. See, you can't tell them that. If you can't tell them that, dude, what do? You're gonna kind of contract, and you're not gonna actually be out there with the guy. No wonder you're an introvert. Hell, you're trying to hide. See, if you can't tell the customer, something's wrong, right? This is why I believe there's a disdain for sales internally. Why salespeople themselves don't even like sales. Why people don't even want to put sales on their business card. But it doesn't have to be like that. The best salespeople I know today are, man, the most effective, productive salespeople I know, from the real estate business to medical to construction to loans to mortgages to automobile people to you name it, man. The most effective, the investment brokers on Wall Street, I know guys selling software. I know guys selling products online. The most productive are the straight shooters. They're straight shooters, man. The guys that last the longest and make the most, straight shooters. They don't play games. They tell it like it is. They know how to get the job done, and they do it all without manipulation. The best sales processes I know, and I've seen many, they're shorter. They're not longer. See, ideally, the salesperson is sensitive to the client's time. Ideally, you would be very sensitive to a customer's time. And the more money they have, the more sensitive you'd be to their time. The billionaire has less time than the millionaire. The millionaire has more time or less time, than the person that has trouble getting financed, right? The salesperson, the sales process, and the sales organization should be sensitive to time, to the client's time, and to your own time. Willing to spend as much time as necessary, but never interested in wasting time or taking too much time. The buyer should be able to get in and out as quickly as necessary, spend as little or as much time as necessary or as desired, whether it's a complex sale or a very simple one. No matter the price or the terms, there are some things you must do and some you cannot avoid. Okay, there's some things you must do, some things you might want to do, and some things you can't avoid doing. But look, you got to get this thing simple, and you got to get it easy, and you got to get it duplicatable. To determine if your current sales process could be problematic for your clients, ask these 3 questions. Do you experience lower than average profits per transaction, maybe across your industry? Do you experience lower than average profits? Number 2, is the length of time to contract the source of constant customer complaints? Man, you guys, what takes so long? Okay. And number 3, are your customers resisting your process? 3 questions: lower than expected or lower than average profits. 2, constant source of complaints. And number 3, are your customers resisting the process? If those 3 questions are, yeah, we're having those problems, you got a problem with your sales process, not your salespeople. Organizations are always looking for new salespeople, but what they should be looking at is a new, shorter, more customer-friendly, matter-of-fact, information-focused, 21st century sales process. 21st century, 22nd century, 23rd. Dude, this information is going to be around for hundreds of years, okay? So the year's 2414, and you're listening to MP3 on titanium, cloud-based, infiltrate your freaking brain. I don't know how you're going to be delivered that information in the future, but I hope it's me, and I hope I'm current. Organizations are always looking for new salespeople to replace ineffective salespeople. But what you should be looking at first is our sales process ineffective? Is our sales process outdated? Is our sales process just pissing people off? Is our sales process asking our people to be somebody they can never be? Most selling programs were designed to satisfy management, not the customer. Most sales processes are designed still today to satisfy what management wants, but in reality, management isn't buying the product that you sell. And in most cases, isn't selling the product. Management, I'm taking a shot at you right now. Dude, you don't even sell it anymore. You're managing the company. So when you start making decisions about the sales process, you need to step out from as a manager that wants to sell more and look at it from what's the customer want? What can our people do? An example of an old adage and belief in selling that would no longer apply today, that management is supported, is the longer you spend with the customer, the better chance you have of selling that customer. But look, this is no longer reality. In fact, the longer you spend with the customer today, is this true or not true for you? The longer you spend with your customer today, in fact, the more likely you won't sell them anything and you won't make any money. And if you do sell them something and make money, the more likely they are to not be satisfied. If the process you are using cannot pass the first two hurdles of satisfying customers first and salespeople second, it won't be effective for management. No matter how much management wants it, no matter how much management believes it, it will be resisted. It must pass the first two tests. Does it satisfy a customer? Does it satisfy the salespeople? Does the customer like it? Can the salespeople use it? Does the customer like it? Do the salespeople like it? Because if the salespeople don't like it, they won't do it anyway. Doesn't matter how much I like a 750-pound Harley Davidson Road King. It doesn't matter how much I want my daughter to learn how to drive a 750-pound Harley Davidson Road King. Dude, she can't operate that bike. It don't matter how much I want it. She wants it. She can't operate the bike. You understand? I need to give her. I say, baby, I want you to swing this baseball bat. Okay, it better be a plastic bat that weighs about 3 ounces. Because she's not going to be able to get the other. It doesn't matter how much I want it or she wants it if she can't pick it up. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how much management, Papa, the CEO wants something. Dude, will the customer like it? And can my people do it? The point is, it doesn't matter how much you, the owner, upper management, wants this or that done in a certain manner. If it doesn't work for the customer and the user, then we can't execute and everyone fails. The litmus test for a great sales process is the question, can we advertise it to the public? If you could just get to that one thing, can we advertise our sales process to the public? What we're going to have our people do with a customer, if we can advertise it, I promise you, this is the single best litmus test to figure out what your sales process should be. If you can't advertise, if you can't say yes, yeah, we can advertise it, there's something inherently wrong with your selling process. Look, I've worked with sales organizations, salespeople, some of the best in the world, all over the world. And the following is what I believe to be the most succinct, most powerful selling process you can create. While it must be customized, obviously, for your product, your service, the basic format of this sales process, and I've done this with financial institutions, people selling hard products, soft products, insurance companies. The shortest number of steps possible, and take out every piece of fluff you don't need. These are the shortest number of steps in order to simplify the process, remove waste of time, still focus on the most important things you want to accomplish. Many organizations have 10 or 12 steps, 8 steps, 9 steps, most of which, by the way, are skipped. And many of them are resisted or done halfway. Here are the most crucial 5 steps that we can boil this thing down to regardless of what your business is. Whether you're a laundromat, seamstress that does, what do they call those people that fix pants and stuff? Tailor. You're a tailor, laundromat. You sell insurance to State Farm or Allstate. You do financial planning for Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan. You sell financial investments on Wall Street. You're selling a piece of real estate for a portfolio for $50 million. Here are the most crucial 5 steps that you must encounter in every sales situation, whether it's in person, on the phone, or on the internet. You have to greet a customer. Hey, what's up? Thanks for calling. I got to greet a customer. Number 2, determine wants and needs. What do you want? What do you need? We'll show you ways to do that. Number 3, select a product and build value in that product. 4, make a proposal. And 5, close. Now I could drop number 1 and number 5 out and tell the customer, Come on in. We're going to find out what you want. Select a product for you that fits that. And we're going to make a proposal. You make the decision after that. The shorter, the tighter you can get this, the better. Step one, the greet. The goal of the greeting is to introduce yourself. Look, I wouldn't even do a greeting if I didn't have to. If I could figure out how not to say hello to people, not build rapport, not get on common ground, not talk to one another, if I could do that and still sell, trust me, I would take out everything I could because I love time. Time is money. The goal of the greeting is to introduce myself, to make a good impression and put the buyer at ease. My goal here is to set the stage for the remaining steps. Say something like welcome. Come up with the same thing and do it every time. Welcome. Great to have you here. Welcome. If they're coming to you, thanks for coming in to see me. If you're going to them, thanks for taking time to see me. In both cases, you should be interested in time right here. In the greeting, time should be on my mind, and I should make them aware that I know it's on their mind. If you don't yet have a relationship with your client, you don't want to waste his or her time. You don't want to waste your time, okay, by trying to make some great impression of who we are and what we represent. If you don't yet have a relationship with the client, you don't want to waste his time or your time trying to make a great impression of who you are and what you represent. If you do know the person, you don't want to get caught up in small talk and never get around to business. You understand what I'm saying right now? So you're told to go out there, greet the customer, find out who you are, shoot the BS, talk to him, but what if your product doesn't fit him? What if like you're spending so much energy trying to get to know the guy, trying to make friends with him, trying to get all friendly, warm and fuzzy. By the time you get to your presentation, man, the guy's like, dude, it's lunchtime. I got to go lunch. Okay. All I'm telling you is make sure your greeting's concise and tight. Thanks for taking time for me. I know your time's valuable. I appreciate you seeing me today. If you're cold calling somebody, I apologize for coming in without having a meeting or an appointment. Hey, man, I just want to thank you for being here today. Thank you so much for seeing me. You get it? What we want to do here is open the door, greet, and move the prospect from prospect to buyer. Examples of a greeting. Welcome. Thank you for coming here today. Thanks for seeing me today. What can I get you information on? Tight. Hey, thanks for coming here today. He's coming to me. What can I get you information on? Then transition into the next steps. Hello, thanks for taking time to see me today. I'm giving you examples now. Tell me, what homework have you done thus far regarding what we do here? Appreciate you taking the time. He knew he had a meeting with a banker. Have you done any information on getting a loan on this property already? I get straight to it. If he wants more time, he can breathe time. Let the customer breathe time into this relationship. Great to see you today. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. I know how valuable it is. What information can I provide you with to make the best use of your time today? I just gave you 3 great greetings. Go back and play this over. Incorporate it into your own personality. Each of these greetings gets to what people want to do. We save rapport building. I'm going to save the rapport building, the buddy making, my term made up for rapport building. We're going to save the buddy making for later so that it organically comes up. Look, man, I can build rapport just by telling people, I don't want to waste your time. Not my time. I don't care about wasting my time. I care about their time always, never my time. I never say, I don't want to waste your time or my time. I hate that line. It kills me. I'm like, you don't want to waste your time. Okay? Dude, why are we talking about your time? Let's talk about my time. You got it? We save rapport building and buddy making for later in the process when and if the buyer elects to do the buddy making. Look, maybe I can close the deal without the buddy making. I'm not there to make friends. When I go home tonight, your 8-year-old walks up and says, Papa, did y'all sell something? Did you and Daddy sell something today? They don't say, did you make a friend? If I don't do the buddy making, good, let's sell something. You can always call our office, 800-368-5771, if you want more information on customized specific greetings that will actually work out scripts for your company. Call our office, 800-368-5771, and we can actually work with your company to build customized greetings for you and your organization. By the way, remember, after you do this short greeting, immediately transition into step 2, which is determine wants and needs. Determine wants and needs and why. Look, you can either do this by moving into fact finding, into some kind of consultation stage, qualifying, whatever you call it. But the fastest way to do this is to fact find on a previous purchase. I don't care what you sell. The fastest way to find out facts about a customer in order to find out what they're going to do next time, let's face it, that's what fact finding is to basically find out what they did last time. Always, this is the case. Whether you're trying to get a girlfriend, trying to sell a hard product, a soft product, a tangible or an intangible, just find out you want to get an investment of $100 or $100 million. The best way to find this out is to go to a previous experience. Human beings repeat behavior over and over and over again. Even when people do a new behavior, it's only because they're trying to avoid an old behavior. The purpose of wants and needs, determining wants and needs, is to, one, know what product to show the client. Which one fits their needs? Which one satisfies? Which one of these books is best for you? I don't know. Maybe they're not all for you. Maybe you don't need them all. Maybe you don't need them all now. I just need to find that out. Number two, I need to know what they want and need in order to know how to present the product in a manner that will build value that would cause the person to say, I want to do that. I don't want to just talk about a book, start running off about a book or my contracting company or our financial plan or the stock or the investment. Dude, what do you want? What do you need? Why? Why am I doing that? So I can show them the right product. And then most importantly, so I can know how to pitch that product, present that product, demonstrate that product in a manner that will satisfy their wants and to such a degree that it would cause them to want to take action and exchange something of value with me. Even things of equal value, products, are not identical when the motivation for that thing changes. A glass of water. On the surface, a bottle of water would appear to be the same until you discover the reason or motivation someone might want a bottle of water or a glass of water. Different reasons promote different values and urgencies, and those must be determined in step 2. That's what we're doing here, determining wants and needs. Why? Hey, why do you want the water? A glass of water just to finish the dinner table? A glass of water just to finish the dinner table? You know what I mean? Bunch of water out there. Most of the time that water's not even drunk, okay? A glass of water just to finish the dinner table out has a different connotation, purpose, reason, motivation. A glass of water just to finish the dinner table out is different connotation, different value than a glass of water that we use to wash poison out of someone's eye, or one to be used to satisfy the thirst of someone maybe that's dehydrated, right? A different reason, man. One's presentation. One is, I need fluid, man. I'm going crazy. Another one is, I got poison in my eye. Get it out of there. You see, different motivation, different value, different reason, different money. Furthermore, a glass of water from the local water system holds a different value than bottled water or an alkaline water that's used to reduce the acidity of someone's body chemistry. Okay? This is probably garbage. It's probably a little better degree of garbage that comes out of my sink. A little better or worse with sink and filter. And then I get the Kangen water, alkaline water that I use at my house, 9.5, Enagic, that I'm a distributor for, by the way. $4,000 machine, dude. $4,000 machine. You know what? It's not really for me. It's for my kids. I don't want my kids drinking this junk. It's full of acids. This actually has more acidic content than this Diet Coke does. They're equal in acidic content. So you're trying to sell me water. Okay, well, you could stop at this $1 bottle, or you could say, Grant, let's sell you a $4,000 filter that will not just filter the water, but alkaline the water. You see, my purpose, my reason for drinking alkaline water is not hydration, not poison in my eye, not because I'm thirsty, and not because I need a bottle of water on my table. These are all different things and all the same product, or appear to be similar products. Look, at Thanksgiving, the glass and aesthetic value of the presentation of a glass of water with ice in it and crystal is more valuable than the water itself. Okay, do you know that people, you say $4,000 for a filter, dude? Are you nuts? How about the freaking $8,000 they spend on crystal that they leave in a cabinet for 11 months and 29 days of the year and only bring it out at Thanksgiving? See? Dude, the water in those glasses was only used to show off the glasses. It's crazy. It's whacked. So look, at Thanksgiving, the glass and aesthetic value of the presentation is more valuable than the water itself until one of the guests is choking on grandma's cornbread dressing. Then all of a sudden, dude, we're bypassing the crystal. I'll break it. Now, some of you just let her freaking choke to death right there. Let her die. Don't break that crystal. But at that point, that same water increases in value and the glass diminishes. You get it? You understand how everything changed urgently in 1 second? That's what happens to your buyers. They change that fast. I don't have the money. We can't pay for this. There's no value. And then all of a sudden, bam, I need something. And I spend it. See, people change that quick. That's what most salespeople don't understand. I'm on a budget today. Oop, got a big need now. Budget's gone. Want to fulfill my need. I spend my money. Get it? Why do you want this? Why do you have interest in this product now? Okay. These are questions you want to ask people. Why do you want this product? Why do you have interest now? Great question to ask people. Why'd you come here today? What is your current situation? What problem are you trying to solve? These are all ways to find out what people want and need. What do they really want and need? What is important to you in your next purchase? Why? What similar experiences have you had? Have you ever bought a phone before? Have you ever made an investment before? Have you ever bought real estate before? Have you ever bought a car before? Have you ever had a plumbing contractor here? Have you ever painted a wall before? Have you ever bought a drill before? Have you ever get it? Really? How'd you like that experience? Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? What did you like most about it? What did you like least about it? On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate it? What would have made it a 10? See, he's going to tell you exactly. Oh, man, I bought a drill once. You know what I didn't like about it was blah, 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 blah. I had to plug it in. Then I hated the plug. It never got there. Then I had to get an extension cord. Boom, the guy's telling you exactly what to sell him. Would you do it again? Would you make that purchase again? I lost that drill. I left it at my house. I left it at my buddies. Then we moved to Texas. Now, would you buy that drill again? Yeah, dude, I love that drill. That drill was perfect. You don't need to sell him your drill, dude. The guy just told you, I love the drill. I'd pay for the drill again. I'd buy it again. Why do the presentation? Go get the drill, take the order, move on. Was it worth the money you paid for it? What did you pay for it? How much was that drill when you bought it last? What value would you place on a drill like that? Was it worth more than you paid or less than you paid? What would have made the drill better? These are freaking sick questions I'm giving you, okay? What am I doing right here? Step 2. Wants and needs. You need to have these tight. You need to stay bright. You need to have them right there at your fingertips. When determining wants and needs, you're not selling. You're not selling anything. You're asking and listening. Because this is done in the early stages of the sales process, understand that you will be using this information to make sense of and close on your proposal later. Okay, I'm not just getting data. I'm going to be using this data later to pick out what they want, to understand how do I make sense of it, and how do I use this to justify the right purchase for them so they get the right product and pay the right price. Remember, all purchases, all investments are trying to solve a problem of some sort. There's only one reason anybody buys anything, only one. If you don't know what that is, you're in trouble. That one reason, the one reason anybody buys anything is to solve a problem. You don't buy a drill because you want a drill. You buy a drill because you want a hole. Where do I want the hole? You don't buy a ring because you love your girl. There's got to be some other reasons. It's not just love, because if it was love, you'd have done it yesterday or last month or last week. You'd already bought her a ring. Why now? Why today? Why did the ring become important now? Step 3, select product and present value. Select the product and present it. Select for your clients rather than allowing them to wander through your inventory and select for themselves. Whether your product's tangible or not does not matter. Doesn't matter whether I can see it, touch it, feel it, hold it, grab it. It doesn't matter whether I have it in inventory or not. Whether your product's tangible or not does not matter. Okay? The inventory is either going to be in person or something I can show them. The more you can show me, the better. If you're selling insurance based on what you found out in the first 2 steps, the greeting, hey, great to have you here. I want to be conscious of your time. If you're selling insurance based on what you found out in the first 2 steps, you would now be able to select and present a solution and how to benefit, how your solution, your product, solves their problem. The same holds true with any other presentation, whether it be a surgery. You think you're not selling something when you're telling somebody, hey, man, we're going to cut you open. I like it like that. talking to Robert right now. You don't need to cut this out, by the way, Robert. I want all this kind of organic thing, okay? The same holds true with any presentation, whether it's surgery, a piece of art, car, furniture, no matter the price, a membership in a country club, a gym, whether it's $10,000 or $100,000 or $1,000 or $100, a gift for charity, a gift for a friend, or it's simply a glass of water. Look, you should be able to present your product based on what your client told you what was important. See, I'm not altering my personality. I'm altering my presentation based on their wants and needs. There's no reason to show the quality of crystal or the quality of water to a choking man, or your grandmother for that fact. Hey, Grandma, this is some really good water. No, but Grandma, let me tell you how good it is. Dude, just get her some water. If I buy a home from you, please show me what I want to see. Mr. Real Estate Agent, Miss Real Estate Agent, please show me what I want to see, not what you want to see, not what you think is so good, not what you show every person that looks at this house. Please, I'm begging you. Show me what I want to see. All you have to do is say, would you like to see the inside or the outside first? Would you like to see the bedrooms or the kitchen first? Would you like to see interiors, exteriors? What's most important to you? See, for me, when I buy a house, the most important thing to me is never the house. Hey, I want to see that house. That's what I always say. It's not really the house I want to see. I want to see the view from the house. I'm a view guy. So what does a real estate agent do? Because they don't know what I want, because they don't ask me what I want, okay? Because clearly they're not trained. They're real estate agents, unwilling to be real estate salespeople, professional salespeople. I'm an agent. They show me a house. They show me the kitchen. They show me the bedroom. They show me the living room. They show me the ceilings. Dude, all I want to see is the view. I want to feel. I'm a feel guy. I like feeling the property, man. What's the opportunity here? All you got to do is ask me, man. Well, you want to see inside or outside? I want to see the outside. Why is that important? I'm a view freak, dude. I like the view, okay? Look, if I buy a home from you, please show me what I want to see rather than what's in my budget. Please, I'm begging you. There's a guy in L.A. I moved to L.A. I meet this guy at my church. He says, are you going to buy a house here? Hell yeah, I'm going to buy a house. Well, what's your budget? I tell him my budget. I think I told him it was $2 million budget. He showed me $2 million houses. I hated them all. Then I went and bought an $8 million house that I sold for 18. Oh my God. He's like, man, why didn't you call me? Because, dude, you were too busy showing me $2 million houses. You're chasing a budget rather than what I loved. Okay, you're chasing a budget rather than what I loved. And the problem I'm trying to solve is not spending $2 million on a house, but having a view to look at night at the end of the day that can excite me and reinvigorate me. The guy's still upset because he missed a little commish, $480,000 commission, trying to sell me the wrong product because he never asked me what I wanted and needed, because he couldn't keep his steps together because he had too many of them. Look, man, I'm down to 3 steps now. Okay, find out what I want, why I want it. 2, present the product for what I want and need. And number 3, make a proposal. By the way, when you show me a home, if you do step 2 right, please show me the property before you show me the house. Okay, just telling you, just between me and you. When I buy a property, I'm more interested in the grounds than I am the house itself. But if you don't take the time to find out in step 2 what is important to me, the customer, you'll waste time in every presentation. You're going to spend time showing pieces, probably 90% of your product that you show to a customer, or your presentation, or your tangible or intangible, or your service. 90% of that a customer, maybe 95%, customer doesn't even care about. Customers make a decision on this percentage of your product. A little tiny sliver is the only reason they're going to buy your product. By the way, if you saw my show Turnaround King on National Geographic, you saw me going to a gym. Oh, I sold that show to them, by the way. You saw me going to a gym a Gold's Gym up in New Jersey, where they presented their products to me. I said, show me your product, dude. Multi-million-dollar facility. Showed it to me. The guy walked around, showed it to me without knowing. He didn't even know what was important to me. Never asked me, dude, what's important to you? Do you really think I need to see all 155,000 square feet of the gym? Dude, just find out what's important to me. I'd have told him. Had the owner of the company taken the time to collect the right information and then presented his product specifically to what I wanted, different from the next person, he would have been more effective. Once he found out that the wet part of the facility was the most important to me, not the weights, not socializing, not picking up a girl there, then he would have spent his time being able to target, and my time targeting his demonstration to those exact things that most hit my hot buttons. Man, this is going to be a great program. The fact that I love to swim, the fact that I believe swimming in an Olympic pool would trim me out faster than any other workout I could do without causing any damage to my body, solving a problem, would have allowed the presenter, Joe, to target and tighten down his presentation in step 3 to those things that would create urgency, push value, build value, and would most have improved his chances of making me a new member. Just because your client calls you about your property that you have for sale, or your product, your phone, or your internet social media service, just because a client calls about a property you have listed for an 11,000 square foot home, example, on 5 rolling acres, doesn't mean he needs to see all 11,000 square feet or all 5 acres and every single blade of grass, right? In fact, you won't know what to show the client until you ask him. You just don't know. Hey, man, I want to see that house you got listed, that 11,000 square feet, those 5 acres. I want to see that. Yeah, okay, great, excellent. When you get in front of him, why? Why this house? What's interesting about it? Okay, what's most important to you? The last house you bought, how big was it? Okay, why is 11,000 square feet? Why is 5 acres important? Find out why. Then in your presentation, focus on those things most important to that buyer. Shorten your demonstration. Shorten it. I'm telling you, show less. Laser beam focus your presentation so that you can make your product a must-have now. What are the few things that will make sense of all the other things? What are the few things that'll make sense of all the other things? What is the senior or dominant buying motive? What's that thing that will cause your buyer to justify and validate and give money for your product or service? See, the demonstration of your product is where you build value, create urgency, and increase the desire for your buyer to give money for the product you're offering. Cut the demonstration short. Tighten it down. Don't skip. Cut the demonstration short so you can reduce your chances of making a sale, right? No, that's wrong. Cut the demonstration short and you only reduce your chances of making a sale. But spend too much time doing the demonstration on things that the buyer doesn't find of value, and you not only waste time, but you also reduce your chances of making a sale. This is what people don't know about sales and the change we're making. You know, if you don't do enough of a demonstration, you could miss a sale. If you do too much, you could also miss the sale. So you need to confine it by asking the right questions. Tighten it down, keep it tight. Number 4, step 4, make a proposal. When you're done with your presentation demonstration, make a proposal. Always make a proposal. Always, 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 always make a proposal. Even when the people are not ready, make an offer. Even when the people are not prepared to buy, just give them estimates so they can think with it. I don't care what you have to do. Make a proposal. Whether they're ready or not ready. I want you to be swinging the bat. Many people suggest not presenting buyers with figures when they're not ready or when the decision makers aren't all there. I'm telling you, you want to increase your sales? I want you to present to everyone, every time, in every situation, whether they can buy or not buy. I believe that if you don't present, you don't swing the bat, hey, look, you can't hit the ball. Wayne Gretzky said, look, I missed every shot I didn't take. I'm not suggesting you make an offer before the presentation. I'm not suggesting you make an offer on the wrong product. I'm saying, hey, let's tighten those things down, get them right. Always always present an offer on your product. I am suggesting that you aggressively do this step. Aggressively. Of all the steps, be more aggressive in the presenting of numbers, a proposal, than any other step. Always position yourself to present a proposal. Our goal when presenting or selling a product is to present to 100% of the people, to get the price and terms with 100% of the people we greet to, and to do that within 30 to 40 minutes of contact. I'm showing a house, I'm showing an insurance contract, I'm showing a car. Within 30 or 40 minutes of showing the product, I want to be able to present numbers. We recently did a mystery shop of over 1,000 when we wrote the book, Sell to Survive, and we talked about 500. It's actually over 1,000 now. Less than 30% of the people that we mystery shopped walked in and said, hey, show me your product. I'm interested in it. Less than 30%, 37% actually provided the shopper with a proposal. That means that 63% of the time, that business, that company had zero chance, except for the chance I showed up, of actually closing a deal. By shortening the sales process and insisting on getting to figures, we have taken companies and increased their sales, in some cases 35%, in a 30-day period of time. In some places, we've increased their sales over 100%. We did this recently with a retail group in Boston, whereby we provided online training, cloud-based, tablet, phones, computers. They didn't have to travel anywhere. And we provided cloud-based solutions, resulting in $250,000 in gross profits in 1 month. If you want to take a look at that product, go to GardoneUniversity.com, GardoneUniversity.com, or you can call my office, 800-368-5771. It's a cloud-based, works from a tablet, a phone, or any computer, where you can basically teach your people exactly, train, drill, and rehearse your people online with testing built in, reporting for management built in, so your people can become good at the greeting, identifying wants and needs, presenting the product, presenting a proposal, and closing the deal, which is step 5. Step 5, close the deal or exit. This is where you're going to find out how much game you really have. You have to check out 2 things: Close the Sale app and Closer Survival Guide, book and audio, if you haven't got those, where we train salespeople now to transition from selling to negotiating and closing. Look, first you got to have this mindset to be prepared to close. Closing the transaction is completely different now from the art of selling. We were all born to sell, but you have to learn how to close. By survey, this is one of the areas in which professional salespeople not just know they need help, they're demanding help. Like, I need help here, okay? My app for iPhones and Androids, Close the Sale app, it's $4.99, okay? It's a sick little app that you can go online and just download. Look, you're not a barn closer, okay? You're not a barn salesperson. You want to become, and even if you are a barn salesperson and a barn closer, barn golfer, barn skater, okay? Even if you are, you don't want to be barn, a baby closer. You want to become a pro ninja master closer for every selling situation, every type of personality type. Look, a great closer needs hundreds of closers. And now that we're going to have you writing everybody, presenting numbers to everybody, aggressively pushing the proposal, you got to become a great closer, a master at the close. Stalls, monies, objections, price objections, budget considerations, better offers, and the likes. All these stalls are only some of what you will hear from your clients. I got a better deal down the street. I got to think about it. I got to talk to my wife. I got a better price from Blowjo. I don't want to do it today. I never make a rash decision. Not today. Oh, first place I've been to. Oh, I was just collecting information. I saw something better on the internet. See, all those situations, you need solutions to. Becoming a pro at closing the transaction is critical, not just to what it takes to get a job done, but also because it will create confidence in your ability to handle objection stalls, problems, and will increase your confidence to want to go into the marketplace and take more calls, make more calls, see more people. Dude, look, all my confidence comes from my ability to close a deal. makes me want to sell more, talk to more, promote more, market more, fill up my pipeline more. Approach this skill of closing as if you were attempting to get a 3rd-degree black belt. If you're not like doing this 3, 4, 5 times a week, you're not going to get your black belt, okay? If you're not training, preparing, swimming in the Kool-Aid, learning how to close, you will never, ever, ever, impossible to become a master at the art of selling. A couple of crazy closing programs are, I don't like that. This book and audio program, Closer's Survival Guide, should be the next thing that you get on when you finish Sell or Be Sold. Closer's book and audio program, or you can get it on an MP3 download. Check my website, closerlose.com, or you can go to grantcardone.com. These programs have hundreds. This program has 225 different closes in it for every situation you will face. Chapter 19, Success in Selling. Treat success as your duty, obligation, and responsibility, not as a choice or just a job. The best advice I can give you about success in any field is to make being successful an ethical issue, not a financial issue and not a technical issue. Literally, success for me is a spiritual obligation. Man, if you could get this, if you could get that this is your ethical, most spiritual success is your spiritual highest duty. Wow, that's big, dude. That's giant. What are you talking about, Grant? Man, I thought success was just an option. No, man, success is your spiritual obligation. It's your duty. God put you on this planet to be successful. Almost all people claim they want success. Who do you know this is? Nah, I don't care, man. I don't need none of that. Sure, everybody wants it. Everybody says they want it. I'm not talking about you wanting it. I'm talking about you demanding it as a spiritual obligation, as something like as vital to you as oxygen. I have to be successful in selling. Almost all people claim they want success. Every salesperson I ever met, yeah, I'm going to have a great month. Yeah, I'm going to be great. Yeah, I'm going to be good. I'm going to be the best. I'm the best. Wow. Oh, yeah. Dude, what you doing? You spit. My wife's over here. I'm doing this program. She's spitting donuts out on a plate. Freaking damn redneck. I love that girl. She a spitter. Almost all salespeople claim they want success, but most people approach it only as an option. Approach anything as an option or a maybe or, well, whatever. And I promise you, it will not be a success for you. Approach anything as an option or a maybe, and I assure you it will never be yours. Did you know that less than 2% of all households in America make $250,000 a year? Why? Well, either the whole system's set up against 98% of the people, or 98% of the people are treating success as something that may or may not happen. And you might be thinking right now, dude, I don't make $250,000 a year. Okay, good. I'm talking to you. Grant, my position could never pay $250,000 a year. Okay, good. I'm talking to you. But you know the money's out there. It's out there, okay? Now, if I can get Robert to shift his thinking from, dude, I can never do that, to, whoa, how could I do that? Look, the reality is the top earners, they're not smarter than you. They don't work harder than you. They're no more creative than you. But one of the major reasons more people don't create success for themselves is not because of the 1 or 2% or the system's rigged or you don't have the right job. Look, the reason more people don't create success for themselves is because they never commit to it. They never commit to it as, look, I got to have it. Do you know anybody not breathing on planet Earth? Well, there's a few people today that are not going to be breathing, okay? Everybody else is demanding oxygen. Everybody else is saying, look, I got to fill my freaking lungs up, man. Okay, they're all breathing. Most of them are getting water, hydrated, and most of them are going to have something to eat today. Terrible. It's terrible how many people are actually having to struggle for food and water today. It's terrible. But most of us are breathing. Why? Demand it. We demand oxygen. Now, what I need you to do is shift into demanding success the way you demand oxygen. Oh, man, I ain't got time, man. I'm so busy with the kids. Really? Well, where'd you get that last lung full? You got 2 kids, 7 kids. You're still breathing. Well, yeah, Grant, that's different. No, it's different because you decided it was different, dude. I think success is important to me. I think selling a next client, taking a phone call rings in here. I jump to the phone faster than anybody. Why? Because, man, I'm looking for that breath. I'm looking for freaking oxygen. Let's face it, most people don't even come close to creating the kind of life they want. Don't even, once a year, they're like, I'm going to make my life better. This is going to be a great year. Most people don't even come close to creating the life they want. And even fewer people create the kind of life they have the potential to create. You know you can create more. You know you can do more. People claim they want successful relationships, but where's that at? People claim they want financial freedom. Really, where? What are they doing to get financial freedom? Dude, you want out of jail? That means you might have to claw through the walls. You know, you want freedom? You don't want to be a slave anymore? You'd do anything, right? You'd risk getting out of jail. You'd risk, maybe I'll jump the fence and get shot, but I'd rather be free. See, most people don't go after success the way a man it's trapped, a hungry dog that wants out of that. He wants out of that. I'm going to chew my arm off, man. I told a girl once, dude, you're in a bad relationship. You got to chew your arm off? Chew it off. You better be in three-legged than being four-legged and trapped. You know, I know a lot of people that claim they want to be successful. They want to solve in business. They claim they want more money. They claim they want to be millionaires, but then they don't go after it relentlessly, undying, gotta have it now, demand pursuit of this thing called success. Ask yourself these questions. Are you fulfilling your potential? Come on, be honest. Are you fulfilling your potential? On a scale from 1 to 10, where are you at right now? 10 being maximum potential. Do you approach success as your duty and obligation? This wristband right here says, blue wristband says, success is my duty. Reminds me. I'm going to tell you something. It's harder to keep going after it when you have money than it was when you're hungry and you don't have money. Number 3, would more success be good or bad for you? And number 4, is your entire family on one plan? Is there one plan at your place or 6? Or do you guys even know what the plans are? Yeah, I know people with 6 and 8, 10 plans, and they don't even know what the plans are until you sit them down. They got 17 different plans going on. People say, man, Grant, you're all over the place. Dude, I ain't all over the place. I'm working one freaking plan all the time. It looks like I'm all over the place. It looks like I'm nuts. It looks like I'm disorganized. Trust me, there's one freaking spinal cord running through this system all the time. We're going to get more. We're going to get more. We're going to be successful. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay. But I might not be as confused as you think I am. I might not be as scattered as it might appear, because at the core of me, I'm working for one thing. If you answered no to any of the above, are you fulfilling your potential? Do you approach success as duty? Would more success be good or bad for you? Is your entire family on one plan? If you answered no to any of the above, your chances of success are doubtful. Okay. You'd actually have to stumble. Something bad would have to happen. You'd have to hit a freaking success grenade, a mine. You'd have to stumble onto one if you answered no to any of those 4 questions. Your problem will not be sales. Your problem will not be the economy. Your problem will be that you have not made a commitment to success as your obligation and duty. In sales, like in any other field, you must demand success. Otherwise, it will elude you and it will find someone else to live with. Success will cheat on you if you don't commit to it. Quit approaching success as an option, and your chances of reaching your dreams will rise exponentially. I can assure you that if you don't consider success your duty and live up to your potential every day, then you simply won't live up to your potential. If success doesn't become an ethical, even spiritual issue for you, an obsession, a must, then you won't do what's necessary to obtain it. Many suggest that success is the journey rather than a destination. Trust me, after building 4 businesses from scratch, I can tell you that while success may be a journey, it is more important to understand that the journey is filled with many unexpected obstacles, and lots of people are on the same journey.
Other people and obstacles will attempt to stop you from reaching your destination. But let me tell you something. If you think the journey is better than the destination, you're going to spend a lot of time in the journey and never get to the destination. I am highly interested in the destination. Those who make a commitment to success as a destination will last longer than those who are just on a journey. One of the great turning points in my sales career occurred when I finally woke up to the fact that if I was going to be successful in sales, not the best in the store, but successful compared to my potential and my industry, I had to make it a priority, a career, not a job, a career, a must, a priority. When I stopped thinking about selling casually and committed to knowing everything, when I started surrounding myself with books and programs, listening and learning and watching videos and clips, and when I dedicated myself to that as a profession, when I started approaching selling as a way to create success in my life, no matter what I was doing, as a duty, an obligation, a responsibility, a military mission, the obstacles that came with selling started to diminish, started to fade away. I began to see that my sales success wasn't for others or the lucky or something that happened once in a while or once in a week or because I was in the right place at the right time. Dude, sales success started happening because I could control the outcome. Even the most fortunate, well-connected people among us, among you, must do something to put themselves in the right place at the right times in front of the right people. Luck is just one of those byproducts of those who take the most actions, who work the hardest and are the most prepared. The reason that successful salespeople seem lucky is because their success naturally allows for more success. Their commitment to success actually creates more opportunities for success. Unless you're privy to the action, to what they're doing, you're privy, you understand what they're doing. You actually don't see other people that are successful. You don't see what they're doing. You don't see what Warren Buffett or Mark Cuban or Steve Jobs is doing. You just see the results, the destination. You don't see the moves he's making, the times he's failing. You don't see or hear about the number of times the top salespeople went for it and failed. Oh man, that guy's got it made. That guy's lucky. Luck will not make you successful. Committing yourself to success completely as a military obligation, as like a do or die situation, will create luck, or what appears to be luck. You have to approach your sales success the way good parents approach their duty to their children: honor, obligation, priority, whatever it takes. Being committed to your career, your product, your company that you work for, to your client, is a duty, obligation, and responsibility. Think like that. As in the chapter, The Most Important Sale, you have to stay completely committed at all levels. Good parents will do whatever it takes for their children. A good parent, a great parent, will do whatever it takes. Get up in the middle of the night for your child. Clothe your children. Feed them. Fight for them. Feed them when you can't eat. Put yourself at risk in order to provide safety for them. Take care of them. Put your own life at risk to protect the child. What good parent wouldn't do that? This is the same way you must now approach your sales career. Be honest with yourself. Never justify failure. It's fairly common for people who are not succeeding in sales to start justifying why they're not being successful. I'm giving you a tip here how to take your career to the next level. Some people even start to lie to themselves when they're failing. They actually lie. It's easy to spot this trend in the sales industry in people who were once doing well and who are now making more and more excuses for why they're not now succeeding. You know, check out the 10X rule, chapter where I talk about excuses. I think it's chapter 21, and I'm talking about excuses. If you're employing these, this is happening to you. You're becoming dishonest, not with your customer, but with yourself. When young people, for example, are unable to get the things they want, they ask nicely, then they get disappointed. Then they start to insist temporarily for a short period of time. They'll insist, maybe even fight for a little while, cry for a bit before they give up. Oh, Papa, you're mean, Papa. I don't get what I want. Why? Because they don't know how to sell. See, they only know how to push and shove and insist and threaten and cry and then give up. This is what salespeople do. Most salespeople act like little babies, like little 4-year-olds. No technique, man, for persisting on a given path. Toward the end of the cycle, the young child, when they've been told they cannot have what they want, they start to convince themselves then, because the cycle's not over for them, they cry. Then they convince themselves what? I didn't want it in the first place. Sell or be sold. This is happening to the child. Sell. Oh, ran out of technique, so I'm going to sell myself now. Oh, why I shouldn't get it. Well, I never wanted it in the first place. This is what the single guy does. Can't get the girl he wants, goes to another girl. Can't get her, goes to another girl. Can't get her, goes to another girl. Can't get her, goes home by himself. I just gave you the creation of the porn industry. Most children actually get what they want from their parents because their parents get worn down. It's not because the kid sold anything. The kid doesn't give up, wears the parent down, and gets what he wants. When you're not honest with yourself, when you're not completely honest with yourself, what do? You give up. I want you to be honest with yourself in every selling situation. There's no reason or excuse good enough for you not to get what you want or need. Quit making the excuses. Clearly, you aren't always going to make the sale. Look, more often than not, I don't make the sale, but don't fail to make one sale and then spend the rest of the afternoon selling yourself lies and excuses about why it wasn't important or why you weren't successful. Be honest with yourself on every cycle. Ask yourself, why didn't I get that sale? What could I have done differently? Where did I miss it? Where did I miss it? Not what did they do? Never what did they do? What did I do? What could I have done differently? How could we have made that better? Where did I miss the sale? Oh, they didn't have credit. They didn't have money. These people can't make decisions. Never make it about them. Make it about you. How could I better justify the cost to them? How could I have got them to borrow money from somebody else? I mean, how could I have gotten them a loan if they can't get a loan? Where could I have gotten them financing? Why didn't I get in front of the decision maker? I only asked for the order twice. I should have asked for it 22 times. Be honest, brutally honest with yourself in every failed sales cycle and take complete responsibility for the outcome. Never, ever give responsibility to them. Never give it to the manager. Never push it off on the manufacturer or the bank. Always assume full responsibility. Don't let your coworkers console you. Don't let your wife or husband tell you, it's all right, honey, we're going to be all right. He or she ought to be kicking you in the ass. Sit down and write down why you didn't make that sale. I'm not feeling sorry for you, man. That's what ought to happen at your house. That's where everybody's on the same page. Don't let your coworkers console you that it's all right. It's all right, John. Don't let anybody tell you the customer wasn't ready. Don't let them talk you into, oh, they didn't have the money anyway, or they're cheap, or they're difficult to deal with, or nobody ever sells that guy, or we don't have the right inventory. Look, the economy sucks, Bob. Don't worry about it. Look, stop it. Knock it off. Surround yourself with people that'll push you. You're boring me, you're boring you, and you're killing yourself and your family and your potential. Your sales success will come as a result of your mental, spiritual, and technically prepared claim to create and own sales success, followed by taking necessary actions that persist over time until you succeed in reaching your sales goals. If you're not able to be brutally honest about yourself, with yourself, about that sale, about why you didn't make it, you will forever find yourself with lower and lower results. And when your success starts getting smaller and smaller, you'll see your actions start contracting as well. In order to demand consistent sales success, you have to, 1, decide you're ultimately responsible for the sale. 2, make it your duty, obligation, and responsibility to make the sale. 3, take massive amounts of action followed by more actions until the sale is made. That's straight out of 10X rule. Number 4, accept no excuses, reasons, or logic ever, but figure out how to make it work next time. And number 5, prepare yourself daily to handle obstacles, stalls, reasons, and barriers that you will encounter with a client. Again, check out GardoneUniversity.com if you want to learn how to master these 5 steps. And you should know them exactly what they are. I want you to finish the exercises at this chapter, and I'll see you back in chapter 20. Chapter 20, sales training tips. Who wants to sales train? Nobody. Who wants to get better? Everybody. Who wants to die? Nobody. Who wants to go to heaven? Everybody. I know people that want to go to heaven don't even believe in heaven. Look, sales training, you're not going to get great without training. So I want to give you some tips in this chapter about exactly what you have to do to make training work. I know I worked at a company early on. The first 4 companies I sold for had no training, no education, no information, no motivation, nothing. I don't know if they didn't believe in it or the economy was just so good. It wasn't good for me. Or they just thought people were going to come in and buy stuff, or there wasn't competition. Seemed like there was, but they did not believe, or maybe they did believe, but did not educate their people. So I don't know why that is or why companies do that. But look, if you're going to get great, Navy SEAL, football player, basketball, whatever you're going to do to get great at, you have to train and educate. It is not enough to just read my book, Sell or Be Sold, or listen to the audio version, or download an MP3. In addition to those things, and you need that, in addition to that, though, you have to practice, drill, and rehearse. But here's the first problem. First, you have to have products. You have to have the products to give me information. I have to have something to listen to. A client once told me before he was a client, well, I don't think my guys are going to do that. They're not going to read the book, and they're not going to listen to it. Dude, I guarantee you they're not going to read it or listen to it if they don't have it. You got a book on your nightstand right now you didn't read? Look, if you didn't have the book, you couldn't read it. Now all you have to do one night is possibly have the motivation to say, I'm going to open this up tonight. In any of these programs or any program you buy from anybody about anything, look, you're looking for one thing that will make you millions of dollars. You're not looking for everything. Sales training. For sales training to work, you have to practice, drill, rehearse, read, and listen. That's the combination. Practice, drill, rehearse, read, and listen, not just, and even video. I want to stimulate everything. I want to read it, listen to it, and watch it. And then I want to practice, drill, and rehearse it. From astronauts to athletes, they all practice, drill, and rehearse over and over and over again until each move, each response, each reaction has been worked out. Like literally their confidence comes up because they're like, there's a fire. We're in a capsule and there's a fire. Dude, nobody's freaking out, bro. You know why they're not freaking out? Because they've already practiced, drilled, rehearsed. But what did they do before that? Before that, they read the manual. Before that, they got education. Before that, they listened to programs. In addition to that, they probably watched video of a guy burning up in a capsule. Look, if you want to quit being scared, if you want to quit being anxious every time you wait on a customer, or every time you go into negotiations, or every time you take a phone call, if you want to quit experiencing this sales anxiety, practice, train, drill, rehearse, educate, hear it, watch it, and listen to it. Saturate. A Navy SEAL immerses himself, and submerses himself or herself in training so that they know exactly what to do in any situation. Food deprivation, sleep deprivation, cold. They know how to survive. And then, because sometimes just survival is necessary in order to get to the place where you can prosper and flourish. That person, that SEAL, also provides himself with supreme confidence in the ability to take care of themselves in any situation. This is what I'm begging you to do for your sales career, for your family, for your future, and for your dreams. If you find yourself backing off anywhere in the sales game, it is because you are not immersing yourself with enough in training, education, and then not doing enough of practicing, drilling, and rehearsing. We tell our clients this all the time. We have thousands of people on our online program. In addition to having Grant available 24/7 visually, auditorily, and reading material on an online university called GardoneUniversity.com, we want people to practice, drill, and rehearse, because then you are starting to be part of the process of making this fit your personality. When I got serious about sales, I was 25 years old. I first really got serious about it. I've been selling for 5 or 6 years. And I remember I used to watch this guy's videos every morning and every night. And in between, I would practice, drill, and rehearse. Actually, I'd watch the video. They were old VHS, Betamax, I think at that time, or some combination. And I would watch that in the morning from home while I was eating breakfast, drive to work, listen to audio, the audio version of that video that I watched. And then when I got to the company, I'd sit down with the guy across from me and say, okay, tell me that you need to think about it. Tell me that you're not interested. Tell me that you're not buying today. Tell me that you just came to look. And then I would start drilling, practicing, drilling, rehearsing, drilling, practicing, rehearsing. I just start like working it out so that I was practicing on him, not on a client. My confidence came up. I found myself taking more phone calls, waiting on more people, going to get more people, being more creative. If you want to be great at this game, you have to practice, drill, and rehearse. I would tell you right now to spend as much money and as much time, not just with me, not just with my company, not just on my products. I'm telling you, if you want to get great at selling, and if you're already great at selling, if you want to go to the next level, and there's always a next level, I would tell you to invest as much money and as much time as possible in training each day, each week, and each month. At least spend as much money as you're spending on your wardrobe, your clothes, how you look, your briefcase, your computer, your Facebook page. Dude, at least spend as much money, time, interest, and resources on those things, on your training, what's coming out of your face, your mouth, your attitude, what's coming out of your eyes. At least spend as much on that as you're spending on your clothes. And if you're not spending anything on those things, I can tell you what your problem is. You're not spending any money. You need to invest money in your career. You need to invest money in telling the world that you're a professional, that you're exceptional, that you're great. Let me tell you what to say every day. Let me tell you how to act with every customer. Let me get you set up mentally every morning, okay? Let me get you ready every time you fail in a sales situation. Let me debrief you on every deal. Imagine if you had this kind of coach. Look, the technology exists today where you can have this on your phone today. You don't have to go someplace. You don't have to get something. You don't have to find it. It's on your phone. Or you can hit your computer. You can hit your tablet. Or you can just, boom, what would Grant do right now? Remember those bracelets? What would Jesus do? I need to get one of those. What would Grant do? See, that's a good reminder. It was a good reminder for me to like, wait, what should I do in this situation when challenged? Oh, what would Jesus do? Oh, did he do the right thing? Look, I could wear... Look, you can put whatever clothes you want on. You could dress in a $5,000 suit. But the reality is if you don't know what to say, how to say it, if you're not staying ready, not just getting ready every day, if you don't act like a professional, they're not going to pay you like a professional. The reality is if you play professional baseball, I promise you, whether you wanted to or not, no matter how you felt, unless you were hurt, you would be required to go to the batting cage every day. Every day, no exception, unless, of course, you're hurt. And if you keep getting hurt, they're going to probably quit giving you money. While it's agreed that training can improve production results, most people don't know the right way to train. And before you consider the cost of training, oh gosh, I'm going to miss a customer. Oh gosh, it takes so much time. Oh gosh, I'm going to miss time with the kids. Before you consider the cost, and by the way, the cost is not always monetary. Before you consider that, consider what is the greatest cost. How about the cost of losing a deal? How about the cost of not having confidence? How about the cost of going home at night and saying, no, I didn't get a deal? How about the cost of lying to yourself every day saying, oh, it's the economy, it's the customer, it's our product, it's the manufacturer. Man, there's a big cost to that when you have to make excuses, even lie to yourself possibly. Look, there's no cost to training. The only thing you'll do wrong with training is not do enough. If I get you on the right training schedule that would truly build muscle, really build muscle, you don't get a bicep like this by doing one. You got to do this every day, okay? And could I get these bigger? Absolutely. And as I get older, do I need to do more of them and eat more food to get them bigger? Sure, because my muscles are starting to get smaller. You guys that have been in sales a long time, dude, y'all need to practice more, not less. You know, you're getting smaller. You're shrinking up. You can't build muscle as fast. You're not as sharp. You're not as quick. It doesn't matter that you have 25 years. You got to train. You got to salt the brain. If I get you on the right training schedule that truly builds sales muscle, training that results in increased sales, the money issue, whatever you invest, dude, won't be a problem. Did you know that most salespeople have never even read one sales book in their entire career? I know people that have been selling for 25 years. I've been doing this 25 years. Yeah, dude, but what do you know? What book have you read? When's the last time you read a book? What was the name of the book? Who wrote the book? What was in the book? Just because you got a Bible at your house doesn't mean you know what's in it. Did you know that even fewer people spend any quality time practicing? Now, the average salesperson has never read one sales book, and that person spends less time actually practicing. Who lets people do this? And even those who don't know how to train effectively to get results immediately, and even those who do train don't know how to train effectively to get results immediately. Your training should immediately increase your production. If you're training, practicing, drilling, rehearsing, and you're not getting results, you either have the wrong data or you have the wrong program, one of the two. Before you consider the cost of training, books, seminars, videos, audio programs, downloads, workshops, online training, travel, lodging, you should calculate the immediate cost of mishandling opportunities. And I doubt one person that's listening to me right now has ever done that. I did this when I was 25. What is the cost of losing a deal? What is the cost of me missing one customer? And how about one customer a week? 4 times a month, 48 times a year, just one customer a week. What if it's one customer a day? What if I'm not making enough phone calls? You should sit down right now, stop me, and literally calculate the cost of missing a deal. Does it cost you $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $300,000, $1 million? How much money is it costing you? If you haven't done that calculation, you have no reason to invest money in books or audio programs or video or online. Why go to school if it's not costing anything not to go to school? You with me? Grant, man, I make $60,000 a year. I'm not asking you how much money you make. I'm just asking you how much money is it costing you to miss a deal? If you haven't done that calculation, there is no reason for you to invest time, energy, or resources in training. Regardless of how long you've been in sales, if you're rusty, dude, you're rusty. A dull saw, it's a saw. It's hanging there in the shop. Yeah, it'll cut a tree down, but it'll take you a lot longer to cut that tree down than is necessary. To keep that sales saw sharp, you have to spend time sharpening the sail. Sharpening the saw, right? Sales training has failed companies and individuals because it has been incorrectly implemented, not measurable, outdated, not relevant, and wasn't readily available to solve sales problems when sales people need it the most. What am I telling you that for? Sales training hasn't worked for most people because they don't do it enough. It's not available when you need it. It's not relevant. It's not updated. It's not right now. After working with individuals and companies for more than 25 years, I have found that for sales training programs to be effective, there's certain very, very important criteria that must be adhered to. Number one, it has to happen every day. If you're not going to do it every day, anything worth doing is worth doing every day. Every most valuable thing in my life, love my wife, love the kids, educate my kids, be a man of integrity, be a man of enthusiasm. Anything worth doing is worth doing every day. Eating every day, breathing. These are fairly important things. I like to do them every day. Anything worth doing is worth doing every day. And if it's not worth doing, you probably don't want to do it. Like if you're a gambler, a degenerate gambler, you probably want to not do that every day, okay? If you're a drug addict, bad idea, okay? The things that are bad for you, you don't want to do every day. The things that are good for you, man, do them every day. Number two, sales training should be approached with the goal to increase production, not to get smarter.